Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Alfred Einstein coming to you from the beautiful studios of Specialized Pockets of Knowledge in Titusville, Florida. So you want to be a mortgage investor, do you? Okay. You come to the right place. I got lots of videos on them. Anyways, one of the things that you're going to have to experience when you're going to buy a mortgage pool or one mortgage note, either way, is something called due diligence. And due diligence, is simply put, is a collection of information. And that's why I like to put into that's why I call this video color, because what is color? Color is the gathering of information, because every time when I first see a loan tape or a loan pool, that loan itself looks like a pencil sketch. I mean, I could kind of make out a little bit about what's going on, but there's not enough information yet. So I spend some time on my pre-bid due diligence, and should I prevail for post-bid due diligence, I spend a lot of time. So this is going to be basically about your pre-bid due diligence, some of the things that you need to know before you bid. So as you add information, the loan itself begins to turn into a color first picture, then hopefully glossy photo. Because the more information you add, the better off your decisions are going to be. So here I have a few ideas of what you need to measure, units of measure that you need to look at when you're determining whether or not you want to make a bid on a loan. Samples of color here on the bottom. Easy for you to say. Occupancy status. Depending upon what your exit strategy model is defined as, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But your exit strategy is going to be either happy or sad based on the occupancy status. If your model to get out of these loans is to rehab them and then sell the loan, when I say rehab them, don't rehab the property, but rehab the loan itself, then your occupancy status is you're going to want the owner to be occupying that property. If, on the other hand, you're trying to use buying notes as a way to obtain properties without any consideration given to the owners of the property, you want to foreclose, and the easiest way to foreclose is to have the property vacant. So you see how occupancy status is very, very important, and of course it's all based on your models. Number 2, I have on the list property condition. If the property condition is along with what your model suggests, then you're happy, but you need to know what it is, good or bad. It is what it is, but the fact is you have to understand whether or not it fits into your model. Property value. If you're the kind of investor like me where you don't like to spend $8 million on a loan, if the value is too high, then don't even look at it. And your value model that you're going to create before you start making offers will tell you whether or not this loan fits into your model. The last payment date, of course, that's going to be more important if it's occupied and you want to try to do some sort of loss mitigation with the borrower. But you're going to want to know that. And the real estate tax status. The reason you want to know the real estate tax status is because you want to know whether or not there's going to be money owed at the end of the day, or whether you'd like to net it out from the proceeds you're paying the seller. Now, personally, I always like to net it out. So if there's $1,000 in taxes, we're going to reduce the purchase price by $1,000, because if we don't do that, if I pay $1,000 less for the loan, then I got to come out of pocket again. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to come out of pocket. I'll come out of pocket once. So also your tax status, that also will allow you to confirm the fact that you're not on the edge of a tax deed sale where you're going to lose the property. And there's some little tricks to that, because, for example, in Florida, a tax deed application can't be made until a tax certificate has been out for 2 years. So that means in the 3rd year, they can make application for a tax deed. If you can pay that before the application is made, then you only have to pay the farthest year away. So you got to pay 1 year's worth of taxes. If you don't get to it until the tax deed application has already been made, you got to pay 3 years worth of taxes. So I don't know about you, but I'd rather hold off and not pay those taxes unless I have to. So this is some things you learn later on in other videos I have. But in any event, excuse me. Listen, if you want to buy loans, want to buy mortgages, look up my website, POFK Pockets of Specialized Knowledge.com. POFK, I think that is. PO, is that it? Anyways, you figure it out. This is Alfred Einstein coming to you from Specialized Pockets of Knowledge. Oh, do me a favor. If you don't mind, would you subscribe to the channel? It helps me out, and I would appreciate it. So until next time, bye-bye.